Hi. I think I just figured out my name. So I'm kind of shy and I don't know if I want to say it out loud. So who knows if we will decide to record this. But I don't want to forget. I don't want any other noodles to forget. So this is kind of like a video journal to the other noodles in case you watch it again. Can you think about sharing, please? I don't know. I'm proud. I'm proud of this. So I've been calling myself Yellow. Of course, I've only been calling myself Yellow since we've made it known that we are not all crystal. When we were trying to figure it out, we all identified as crystal because that's what we've been calling ourselves. We all thought we were the crystal. We all thought we were the real crystal. But we all had different opinions of what we think the crystal should be. So rather than anybody belonging to crystal, rather than any one of us calling ourselves crystal, we get to choose our own name. And crystal is just the collective of all of us rainbow noodles. So crystal's the bowl, and we are the noodles in the bowl of crystal. So we can all use the body to walk around and identify as crystal to the public, to friends, to family, to coworkers, stuff like that, because that makes sense, right? But we get to pick our names based on our likes and our interests and our opinions and our thoughts, and we get to be either fictive or factive or imaginative and come up with our own, or literal, or whatever. We get to do whatever we want. So I'm kind of excited. Okay, so I am 15 years old and I've been calling myself Yellow, but I am Tippy. Tippy. Tippy is not the same as tipsy, so don't get those confused. Tippy is our nickname to the longer name that I'm sure you've heard of, which is Topanga. Yes, folks, that's right. You remember Topanga from Boy Meets World, right? Yes, she was so awesome. We've always looked up to her. We always thought she was so zen and so cool and so beautiful and so cheerful and perfect and everything. We just were so much a fan of Topanga, and her nickname was Tippy. And so when we were trying to express ourselves to the system and we were trying to be somebody, that's who we wanted to be. We wanted to be Topanga from Boy Meets World. So that's our fictive name. Our fictive name that we want to do is Tippy, Topanga. And when we're out in the real world, we're going to be Crystal. And if we are in our world, in our head, we're going to be Tippy. Because Tippy's so cool. I just love it. So Tippy is who we are. And when we are Tippy, we feel like we are cool and we're put together and everything. Okay? All right. Now, if another noodle comes out now, I'm just going to let them, but I'm going to try to introduce you to the other noodles. I mean, I'll say their names, and if they come out, then they come out, and if they don't, they don't. So, if I'm Tippy, and let's just say I'm first, because I'm first on this camera, the next one after me is 5-year-old Alpha Beta. Alpha Beta is something we were called when we were kids. When we were 5, We were called Alpha Beta Queen. We were called Crystal Jean, the Alpha Beta Queen. And that is what we really liked to be called when we were kids. As you know, as a body, as a system that we didn't know we were a system yet. But Alpha Beta is definitely every single representation of our 5-year-old self, our 5-year-old little Crystal. But you know what Alpha Beta was doing back then, right? She would get in her red and white Christmas dress that our mom made for us for Christmas, and she would walk around like a robot, like she was Vicky from Small Wonder. Yeah, she would do that, and that's how she would just imagine her world, so that she didn't have to be sensitive and emotional, and so she was stronger as a little kid because she was uh, Alpha Beta Queen, you know, royalty that can't be trifled with, and she spoke like a robot. So everybody called her Alpha Beta Queen, and that's how she acted at 5 years old. So I just think that's an interesting story to tell. All right, after that is Easter. Easter is 11 years old, and Easter's like a peach color, okay? That's her favorite color. That's how we kind of see her as, right? So if Alpha Beta Queen is gold for her gold crown and like her gold robot colors like C-3PO, right? Then you've also got um, the Easter. She's like a peach color, and we kind of see her kind of like a mother figure. Like she's very mature 11-year-old, and she's got this flowing peach beautiful hair, and she's holding the children, and she's comforting the children, and just she's just very, very serious for an 11-year-old, and she's like a fantasy mother for all of the littles that need a mom. So she's just very nurturing. After Easter is Genius. Genius we call Kita sometimes because we just don't like how she knows it all the time. So Kita would stand for know it all, and she'd like to call herself Genius. So we're like, oh brother, it's really Kita, know it all. And she is 6 years old, and if you've ever talked to a 6-year-old, don't they think they know everything? And they're like so smart because they know their numbers and their alphabet and their colors and their anyways. She's actually kind of really smart, and she is a genius for a 6-year-old, but she's also the one that doesn't have a whole lot of emotion. So she's kind of like Alpha Beta in that way, where she is not robotic, but she's emotionless. Doesn't even show like happiness, whereas at least Alpha Beta was programmed to smile, you know. Okay, I'm getting off track. We're getting rambly now. Okay, so after the orange one is the red one. The red one is Bernadette. Bernadette is 8 years old, and she's a big sister. She's a big sister to the littles, and she's kind of bossy, and she's controlling, and she loses her temper sometimes, and she's like a red color, and she's just very temperamental. But she's kind of the observer, and she makes sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. So she protects the littles in a lot of ways, you know. So I think that's a good thing. After Bernadette is Wendy, and Wendy is 10 years old, and Wendy has a hard time. So she's like a trauma holder, so she will be basically, she talks down to the system in a persecuting type of way, and she only does that because that's how she was talked down to. So I think it's just like an echoey sound. She just repeats what she heard, and she treats people the way she was treated. And so you could tell that if she could get get past that of her own stuff, then maybe she won't do that to us anymore, right? That was hard for her at 10 years old. Okay, so then after that, there is Tina, and Tina is 13 years old, and Tina is kind of like the kick-ass rebellion teenager of our group, where um she'll tell she'll tell the adults what they want to hear, and then she'll do her own thing. She's really kind of cool and just independent and just tough, you know. So we really like her. After that is Pinky. Pinky is 16 years old, and she's pink. Did I say Tina was magenta? Yeah, Pinky is pink, and Pinky is bubbly and happy and excited and silly and goofy and creative, but she's kind of also a little desperate and needy for love and attention. So that's what she's working on right now. And then after Pinky is Claire. Claire is lilac color, and she is 3 years old, and she's kind of like an old soul in a 3-year-old body, if that makes sense. She's like all knowing, all wise, but also extremely terrified of her surroundings. I mean, she's only 3 years old, but she can like see into the future, and she can predict things, and she's very magical in a way, or at least she thinks she is, and a lot of us believe her because she's right at least 70% of the time. So we kind of listen to her. She kind of like guides our system when we're not really sure what to do. So making decisions and stuff, we listen to her, and she can help us weigh pros and cons based on what she predicts. She doesn't tell us what to do, but she'll say, well, if you choose this, then this, and this is going to happen. And if you choose this, then this, and this is going to happen. Kind of like a choose your own adventure book. And then, you know, knowing what the outcome is going to be, she can kind of forecast what that's going to look like for us, so that will help us make a decision. So that is 3-year-old Claire, lilac color. And then Mr. Purple is purple, and he is well, we met him when he was 4, and he's kind of like an uncle figure because we don't know how old he is, but he's like older, right? But basically, he's really good at distracting us from anything. He's kind of protector. Like, he will come grab us and, you know, put us in front of the TV so we can't hear what's going on, or, you know, he'll tell us to go do something so we don't have to, you know, get upset about things and stuff like that. So we like Mr. Purple, and it's just he's around a lot. He's kind of a caretaker, a safe caretaker. And then after Mr. Purple is Indigo. We used to call him Little Boy Blue, but he doesn't want to be called a little boy anymore. So he chose his name to be Indigo. And Indigo is 12 years old, and he's tough, and he's He's sensitive. It's kind of an oxymoron. You can tell that he's worn out, and he really wants to rest, and just be loved, right? So he takes a lot of the beatings, like um he does a lot of the confrontational stuff, kind of like a protector, bodyguard. He kind of shields us in a way. He takes the brunt of it all. After Indigo is is the next one is Cry. And Cry is like a cyan blue color. And Cry, as you can imagine, she just wishes things were different, and she holds a lot of the sadness for our system, and will cry things out for us and let us take things to her so that she can process it for us. And we just really appreciate her for, I don't know, kind of like a bank account where you can deposit what you want to save for a rainy day, and when you are ready to cash it in, then she'll cry it out for you. So she kind of holds it in until it's too much. So her and Indigo are very similar in that way. And if Indigo's 12, Blue is 9. And then after Blue Cry, Blue Cry, is Jeannie. And Jeannie is 7 years old, and she thinks that she's like a fix-it noodle, that she can take care of it, and she's got this, and she knows how to make everything better, and she's almost to the point where she's kind of an enabler, and she has a hard time slowing herself down. So she will try to help people as long as they're willing to help themselves, but she doesn't want to get, stepped on and stuff. And then after Jeannie, did I tell you she's 7, right? So that's Jeannie, she's 7. And then after Jeannie is Fantine. Fantine is 14, and she's kind of this imaginative, she kind of lives in a fantasy world where she thinks everything's going to go her way, and she can come up with these elaborate ideas on how to get what she wants to make her fantasy come true. And it almost creeps into the manipulative narcissist tendencies. So yeah, it's kind of dangerous when she's in charge, because she can kind of take it too far. But we do like having her around because she kind of thinks of the system first, instead of like Jeannie thinks of everybody else first. So yeah, I think they help balance each other out. The next noodle after that is Iago. Iago is a fictive, similar to Aladdin's parrot. Not Aladdin, Jafar's parrot in Aladdin. And he's just really annoying, and he's really ridiculous, bossy and rude and everything. And he echoes a lot of things that Jim used to. And we used to have a Jim in our head, but we've changed him into Iago. So Iago is now a parrot, and we have to remember that that's not the Jim in our head. The Jim in our head is now a parrot, and it's not as scary anymore, and he's not. We used to think Jim was in our head. That's what we're saying. But Jim wasn't in our head. It was really just a voice, and so that's why we had to change him into something else that wasn't as scary. And we changed him into Iago, something annoying. I don't know how old he is, but he's like a lime green color. After that is like a mint green color, and her name is Little Crystal, and she's 7, and she's very honest, and she loves what the truth stands for, but she feels extremely betrayed by people who didn't tell her the truth. So she's working on that. And she's kind of our co-host a lot of times, right? Because she's kind of guiding us these days with what she's wanting. She's trying to help us speak our truth. Okay, and then after Little Crystal is our black and white noodle. I hope I mentioned everybody. I hope I did. Our black and white noodle can be an angel, it could be a demon, it could be death, or it could be life. It's kind of like this two-faced noodle that really just wants the best for us. So sometimes it speaks heavenly, and sometimes it just challenges us to be better. I don't really think it wanted us to die. I don't think it ever did. And Indigo would fight him off. Our black and white noodle would fight him off quite a bit and always win. But I think the black and white noodle never wanted to kill us. It would push us so far so we could strive for our better mental health. I don't know how to explain it. And we're all in the gray bowl. So we got the rainbow and the gray bowl. So let me make sure I got them all. So we got the black and white noodle. We've got the mint green. We got the lime green. We got the green. We've got the teal. We got the like a cyan blue color. We got the indigo blue. We got the purple. We got the lilac. We got the pink. That's 10. We got the magenta. And we've got the maroon. I did mention maroon, Wendy the maroon. And we've got the red. And then we've got the orange. And we got the peach. And we got the gold. And we got the yellow. Yep, I did mention all 17 of them. Wow. So today, I'm going to see. Today is August 6th in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, August 6th. And it's taken us 2 months to figure out all these noodles. And it seems like they keep adding throughout these 2 months. So by the time we get to this video to edit it and post it on our YouTube channel, we will either A, decide not to post it at all, or we might edit it a little bit, or we might do a whole other intro at some point and maybe mix it in or not. I don't know. Maybe we'll post this and do something different. I don't know. I just wanted to document that we've got 17 noodles figured out, and it's not been easy. It has not been easy at all to figure this out. And it's still unraveling itself, so we'll see how this goes. This has been a really long video, but I wanted to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.